You better believe it, buddy.
Zdravstvuyte. My name is Ryan, and I'm addicted to cosmoline. Today, we have these rounds sent in by a viewer named John. They're 80 years old, and...
I think they're older than that.
Possibly older than that. Definitely older than that, but they're a mystery is the point.
We're not quite sure what's in there.
No, it's kind of cheese-shaped, so we're going to see what's up with that.
I was hoping there was cheese in there.
If there is, I will eat it on camera. This indicates that there's 15 cartridges. This is 762, of course. The best that I can tell, this says Stone Father, obviously. This indicates that there's no strippers. This is the bullet type.
And we don't know what that translates to. I'm afraid to even say that.
This indicates that the casing is ferrous.
So steel case, in other words, right?
Steel case.
Okay.
That they're made in Russia. And here's the date on this, which is 1944, but they're made in Russia and repackaged, so the bullets are probably older.
So they're Russian ammo packaged in Finland in 1944 using some ammo we have no idea what its type is. Okay, I think that's all we know from the labeling, and I'm surprised we got that much information.
Let's find out what's inside.
Have that fine finish air. I don't know why we need a giant knife for that, but hey, that's all we had. Here we go. Oh man, that's pretty ratty looking.
Ooh.
Look at that.
That's exciting.
Okay, what do we have here?
I mean, these are the dirtiest rounds that I've ever pulled out of a sealed box.
Look at the dent on that.
Yeah, and they're greasy, they're slightly gummy to the touch, and the bullets aren't seated all the way into the casings.
Yeah, and that one's got a dent in it. See, a steel case with a dent. So,
yeah,
I don't know. You think these things are going to function after 80 years and being so nasty?
I think after we clean them up a little, yeah. Yeah, I think I can send one of these downrange.
Okay. Man, I thought they hadn't been open for 80 years or whatever. They're going to be all shiny and pretty and everything. Oh, I didn't expect them to be like dipped in cosmoline or whatever that is.
I mean, repackaged, but repackaged from where, sir?
Exactly.
So here's a side-by-side. These are some Bulgarian rounds from 1988 that I brought. And these are the new ones. We actually cleaned them up with a little bit of petrol to get some of that gumminess off. And they're a little dented and worn. I think these might actually be battlefield pickups. I don't know. Yeah, and yeah, like I said, they don't fit in there squarely. Now, they have black and red on the tip, which I can only assume means that they're made for shooting through newspapers. Because they're black and red all over. Best I've got. We'll find out what it means.
Oh my gosh.
And these that we were looking at, I believe, are, what were they?
1940.
1940. Oh, that's going to be a delight.
Yeah, so they're older than we expected, you know, because they were. Who knows where they picked these things up? But,
and then repackaged 4 years later.
Yes. Got to put some cosmoline on there. Okay, do you think we could? Do you think they'll shoot?
I think it's worth trying.
Yeah.
Yes. I think that they will shoot. This is a 1944 M9130, manufactured in Tula. Has a stamp here that indicates that the barrel is the higher quality that could have been used for a sniper, but it's on the standard 9130 body. And it's also been remanufactured in Russia.
Okay, where are you aiming at? The little happy face on the lead plate?
A little too happy for my taste.
Okay, I'll try to look at the chronograph as you shoot it. Okay, I'm ready. Los! Okay. 28, what is the chrono? 2871.
Oh.
And we were not even sure these would function still after so many years, especially stored in a cardboard box and not in a hermetically sealed Spam can.
Let's try the Bulgarian one, the steel core Bulgarian. Okay, I'm ready.
We had pretty similar velocities using the newer Bulgarian ammo. In fact, the Finnish ammo was about 60 feet per second faster than this stuff.
All right, so this is the hole from that Russian-Finnish round. And there's a couple interesting things about this. We got this bit of spall that came off, like it actually removed a chunk of lead that we found. And I noticed that the inside of this is blackened and it has a nice clean round hole through the back. Whereas this is where we shot that steel core round, and it's a bigger hole all the way through, no blackening.
Spin it around. There you go.
There you go. Smart.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so this one, yeah, you can see the hole here. It just punched this nice little round guy. This one was a little more terse. Next we have an 1.125" aluminum plate. Now,
That's almost 27 millimeters.
that's almost 27 millimeters, according to Jeff. I
What's
happened to pick up a round with a big old dent, so fate has determined that's what we're going to shoot.
Okay. Okay, I'm ready. Fire. Okay, I'm ready. Fire.
Now, remarkably, every round that we shot of this old Finnish ammo functioned perfectly. And in quite a few of the tests, you'll see this very distinctive fire ring, which is kind of a surprise to see. But as far as old ammo goes, it's probably better that you save it as a collectible than to go out and shoot it.
Okay, so you made a little adjustment in your aim, and now you're pretty well on target now.
Yeah, it turns out my eyes were a little crooked, but 1 inch was what it took. What was interesting, yeah, this didn't stand a chance. So we have this nice clean hole straight through, and that dented jacket just split on us, which is fun, but I mean, it did the job. Look at that.
Okay, we have some thicker aluminum now.
This one is 57 millimeter, about twice as thick as the last one, which is how I like them.
Or about 2¼ inches. That's, if they can get through that, I'd be very surprised.
I think it will.
Okay.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay.
Now, we were given this ammo to test out. And it wasn't given to us just to put on a shelf and collect dust. But there's a lot of value in sharing the results with the world, despite these being a pretty collectible round in those original boxes.
Okay, the Bulgarian steel core.
See if it stands a chance.
Now, Ryan thought it would be a good idea to compare our Finnish ammo with other types of common milsurp ammo, and I agree with him. That was a good idea.
Yeah, for one thing, the aim was way off. I'm going to officially blame that on the bullets not being seated properly.
I think so, yeah.
What's really interesting, number one, it didn't punch through, and because of that, we have all of these blackened scorch marks all around it that I don't think we saw in the last one. And then the bullet is embedded in here, but there's all of this, I don't know what you'd call that, fouling. It looks like melted aluminum, just like sealing the bullet in there. Oh, there's...
Oh, I see a little bulge.
There's a slight bulge. I had to check to make sure,
Yeah, I saw a little shininess there. So it almost made it through.
This is the hole that the steel core made, and it doesn't have any of that junk in it. You can actually see the back of the bullet about 1/4 inch down in there.
It's deeper than that.
A little deeper than that, I suppose.
The base of the bullet is about 5/8 of an inch in there, and
yeah, so the front of the bullet is up here by this rather attractive looking bulge.
we have a piece of AR-500 body armor 1/4 inch thick, and behind yeah, and behind it we have a little packet of fuel taped on the back. The idea here is to see if that will ignite. It's simulating like a light armored vehicle and you're hitting a gas tank. And I'm thinking it won't ignite it because the flash is happening on the outside of the plate. But I could be wrong. Well, I have to tape that on there a little better too.
I did a little bit of Googling, and apparently these are API rounds, which of course stands for Application Programming Interface.
Oh, okay.
Which is a very powerful thing, so I think that we are going to get some ignition.
Okay, we'll see. Will it ignite? Will it go through? I don't know. Okay, I'm ready. Okay, I'm ready.
Now, as I often say, the high-speed camera does not lie. The packet of fuel was not ignited.
Okay, so we didn't get any fire. That thing was full of gasoline. It had air in it, so we had gasoline fumes.
And what's really interesting is we got blackening, and even the plastic is burned and curly, but it did not ignite the gasoline.
Yeah, it had, you know, like I said, I puffed it up full of air. So we had fumes, we had the fuel, we had penetration through the plate.
I feel sorely misled by Call of Duty.
Right? And then it looks like the steel core ended up in the table.
Yeah, we got some kind of magic bullet scenario where it came down at an angle through this backing plate, and we have a steel core here stuck in the table.
Yep, it's stuck in there good.
Oh, that is not, it's like melted in. That is not coming out.
Yep, without, maybe pliers.
Missed pliers, yeah.
All right.
Yep, this is Steel Core 1980. This is what we're shooting
I
right
got you
now.
all confused now, so let's see how that does. Aiming at the orange circle. I'm ready.
Yep, this is Toll Ammo, a weapon to surpass Metal Gear. The casing is steel, but the bullet itself is just jacketed lead.
Okay, let's see what it does. Nice thump.
Ryan suggested that we test out the mild steel core ammo against lead core ammo. Now, a lot of people believe that steel core ammo is armor piercing ammo, which it's not. Even our local range believes this and prohibits people from using steel core ammo at the range. Steel is used simply because it's cheaper than lead.
So we did remove paint as predicted, and kind of like the last one, we have this nice little mark here, and it left a nickel-sized impression on the back. And this mark is actually a little deeper than the steel core, which is very embarrassing for that steel core ammo.
Right? It's not very armor piercing for one thing.
I'm not sure what to make of that, Jeff.
And good old lead won out again.
Surprising to me. So we have this steel plate, which is about 9 millimeters, or 3/8 of an inch in freedoms per hamburger. Yep.
Okay, let's see if it'll punch through that. We know the steel core won't.
Yeah, the last one really differentiated, you know, the big boys. And let's just see how big they are.
Okay.
For safety, we put this plate at about a 20-degree angle. Now, even though an angled plate is more difficult to penetrate than one at 0 degrees, you still have to think of what could possibly go wrong, and I was worried that it might ricochet and come right back at us if we set it at 0.
I thought it would not go through.
Oh, I knew without a doubt that it was going to punch through exactly as seen.
Oh, yeah, okay, Mr. Hindsight.
Yeah, but seriously, you know, now that steel core, the regular steel core, is feeling awfully insecure about its penetration size, because I cannot believe how cleanly this just punched through.
Yeah. Very impressive. I did not think it would go through that.
Yeah, and look at these blast marks.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like it got hit by a little tiny RPG.
Yeah, yeah. I still want to see some fire. See if it'll actually ignite something, right?
I like fire.
Do we have to like tape something on the outside of it?
So we have a gas-soaked rag in a baggie in front of a mostly but not entirely depleted gas can.
Propane.
That's propane tank, and with this steel backing.
Yep. And well, I want to see if it'll ignite. Any guesses? Do you predict it'll ignite?
I don't know if it will ignite, but I hope it will ignite. I think that would be really cool to watch.
Oh, we got ignition. Oh, we got ignition. Okay, is it out already?
Now, one thing we did learn from testing these is it is difficult to get secondary ignition on targets when you want it to happen. But we must have had just the right conditions to achieve that in this shot. But only the propane ignited and the gasoline fume bag never did ignite.
And I was wrong. We actually had a little, a small fire. It wasn't that crazy. But we did show that these will, in the right conditions, start a little fire.
Yep, this rag is still intact. Little black marks, but it didn't burn up. It's still a little squishy in there. But
Look at the table. It's all burnt there.
When it blew out the back, yeah, you got all these scorch marks and just
That's interesting.
right across there.
Very interesting.
So we're trying it again, and Jeff has come up with this setup where we're going to try the gas rag sandwich. So we have a steel plate.
They're it's sheet metal. It's very thin.
Gas rag plate, and yeah, so gas rag sandwich. This is something normal people do.
I don't know that one even flash. Make it function. Okay, I'm ready. Yeah, it's just too thin.
Now, the purpose of this test is to simulate perhaps the bullet going through the skin of an aircraft, or even a car door or something like that, or even ballistic gel. I don't think these things would activate. In other words, they have to hit something very hard and solid.
It's light and gasoline business is difficult to do, apparently. One more try with the R500 steel behind our sheet metal. Okay, I'm ready.
Now, in this test, it would simulate the bullet going through the skin of an aircraft and then hitting a spar or something heavy. But it really seems like the initial flash just consumes all the oxygen and kind of screws up the air-fuel mixture so we don't get secondary ignition. And just to prove that that bag of gas is very flammable, there you go. Now, it's not impossible to get the secondary ignition, but it certainly isn't guaranteed.
Kind of jacked up the table a little bit. I think that'll rub out, though.
A little bit, yeah. This paper is still shockingly intact. Yeah, got some flash. Did some crunched-itude to the table.
Yes, I try to make these tables last as long as they can, but I did not plan that one out very well.
It's a battle scar. It's a mark of honor.
I guess. Anyway, what are your final thoughts? You said these things stick a lot in the chamber.
Yeah, they were hard as hell to eject. They wanted, like, you know, the normal shells, they're a little bit sticky just because of the old mechanics on the gun. But these, I mean, you had to slap them and call them names to get them to come out. A real joy to shoot, though.
Yeah, they all lit off. They all lit off fine. They worked great against the hard steel targets or the aluminum targets, but the thin sheet metal, which is kind of like shooting through a car door, they didn't really go off. So,
yeah. Well, these might as well be tissue paper for the energy behind those.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be enough to ignite them, but you got to have something significant to make them do their thing. Anyway, thank you for coming out again, Ryan.
It was a real pleasure, Jeff. Thank you for letting me start some fires out in the country and shooting off my gun.
Yeah, some rare ammo. And thanks again, John, for sending it out. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it met your expectations of what you wanted to see us do with I can't talk anymore. I hope it met. You're happy with the tests and everything, and didn't feel like it went to waste.
I hope you enjoyed my shooting, Tough Later fans.